What's up, gamers? It's your boy Johan. We are here to talk about Halo Infinite. What does it mean by 10-year game? We've known that Halo Infinite has been claimed to be the start of the next 10 years of Halo. And there's a lot of talk going on that there's not going to be another Halo game after Halo Infinite for at least 10 years. And that scares a lot of people, that confuses a lot of people. We are here today to sort of answer some of those questions and kind of figure out what the heck is going on. So, what does it mean by Halo Infinite is a 10-year game? We got to look at it from two different angles. We'll look at it from campaign. We're going to look at it from multiplayer. So let's start with the campaign. Looking back at what Chris Lee said to IGN right after the campaign reveal, reveals a good little bit about what it actually means. 10-year game. And it's not what I've been hearing some people say, but I think there's some people that do agree and understand. Here's the quote. Halo Infinite is the start of our platform for the future. We want Infinite to grow over time versus going to those numbered titles and having all that segmentation that we had before. It's really about creating Halo Infinite as the start of the next 10 years for Halo, and then building that as we go with our fans and community. So, there's a little bit to unpack there. Right there, you have that next start of the next 10 years for Halo, and that's where a lot of people go, 10-year game. Okay, so when we're talking about campaign, and he talks about platform for the future, what I'm very confident that means is Halo Infinite is going to be like the MCC, but for the future. Because MCC is the platform for the past Halo. It's a platform for the legacy of Halo. And what do I mean by that? When you go on to MCC, you can choose which game you want to play, right? And I know there are different multiplayers and all that. We're not talking about multiplayer, just campaign. You can go in, you can click Halo 1 campaign, Halo 2 campaign, Halo 3 campaign. I'm pretty confident that Halo Infinite, you're going to have the first campaign, right? And that's a game. That's a full game, okay? On its own. There are plenty of games that launch, and all they are a campaign or a story. You have that right there. Halo Infinite, first campaign. Whatever they want to call it. When the next campaign comes out, I mean, there could be some little side campaigns or smaller things, but they're going to be having these large campaigns that drop that are like full games, okay? So it's full-length campaigns. So rather than doing the whole thing where they release, a Halo 6, a Halo 7, a Halo 8, they're just going to put them into Halo Infinite. So, you could have the first one, like this, the Halo Infinite we know right now, I like to think of that as hope, so discover hope, become hope, something like that. So say it's, Halo Infinite, become hope. Next one, Eshram Strikes Back. And then you could have, Return of the Spartan. No, we're doing a whole Star Wars thing. Anyway, my main point is, I think a lot of people are thinking in terms of like DLC, rather than thinking, no, they're going to be pushing game size campaigns within Halo Infinite. And I don't believe it's going to be like Destiny. I really don't. Destiny is where it's all integrated with the hub world and all of that. Very confusing for me. I never really got super into Destiny. But I see a lot of comparisons to Destiny, and even people trying to compare to like Avengers being live service and all that. The campaign will not be live service. I'm very confident it will not be live service. That would mean that the base campaign would keep having things added onto it. And I don't think that they are aiming to do that. They're aiming to build campaign experience, and then when they do the next one, whether it be a spin-off where it's not a Master Chief story, or it's continuation of the Master Chief story, or whatever, those are going to be within Halo Infinite, but they're not going to be integrated into the other campaign, base campaign that we were doing. I mean, I could be wrong, but just looking at what they're saying, looking at what I've seen, and just thinking about it logically and thinking about the direction they're going with this game, I don't think they're doing that. So, now we look at the multiplayer. Multiplayer for 10 years. The multiplayer, I believe, will be live service. Okay, it's going to be maybe not. It's going to be closer to your traditional when you think of a live service, but I think 343 might do their own spin on it. You're going to have content updates. You're going to have, new maps, new game modes, new weapons, new cosmetics that drop, seasons, events, things like that. And honestly, I think some of the bigger deals with multiplayer, they can have plenty of opportunities to do things that coincide with the campaign, right? Especially if, they introduce a new weapon in the next campaign, that can come in the multiplayer, vice versa. They have a lot that they can do with that. In a sense, this might sound weird, but they're kind of two different games. They're going to be handled and grow very differently. You're going to have that multiplayer that just keeps going, just like with Call of Duty, how you have Warzone, and they had it with, Modern Warfare, and then it moved with Black Ops. Except for it's going to be a lot more cohesive, and it's going to connect better. And I don't think it's going to be as jarring as a change when the next campaign comes out, because I don't think they're going to change how the entire game works or anything. They could introduce new gameplay mechanics. I don't know, but it's not going to be as jank as what that is. The question is, why are they doing this? And there are a couple reasons why. Firstly, I really believe the reason why they're adopting this model rather than continuing to release games separately. One of the biggest reasons is to make it very simple and easy for new players to come in. Somebody gets say they get an Xbox Series S, right? They get Game Pass or something, they want to play Halo. They don't really want to go back and play the old games and learn all of that and figure that out. Or maybe they don't know that they're a ton of old games, or they don't know about the Master Chief Collection or whatever. They just know Halo is an Xbox thing. They know that it's been around, but they don't know all the specifics of the different games and everything. If they looked and saw Halo 6, instantly they would think, I've got all these games to catch up on. When they see Halo Infinite, not having that number there kind of just makes it a little bit more open. And they've already said that this is kind of going to be a starting point for new players, especially with campaign. If you really think about it, this whole process of making it more inviting for new players started back with Halo 5 Guardians, where they were starting to phase out the numbered titles. Whether or not they had this plan for the 10-year and making it a platform and all of that is up in the air. I don't know if they had that much foresight back then, but I know that they knew that they wanted to not do the thing where they keep having numbers. So someone goes in, they boot up Halo Infinite, and say it's a couple years down the line and there's a second campaign. They can look and they see, oh, there's the first story or first part of the story. There's the second part of the story right there. They don't have to look for a separate game, anything like that. It's going to be right there within the game. And the multiplayer, they don't have to figure out which multiplayer to play. They just play what's on there. That is sort of the current industry trend. Think about Fortnite. Think about Apex. Think about even Warzone. All of those games, even though they've changed over time, they haven't been separate releases. They've had the season updates and all of that, but it's not like I gotta go and track down the next game, like the next version of the game. And since it's free to play too, that just opens it up for so many more possibilities. Also, I forgot to say this in the video originally, but another big reason why they're keeping it like this too is so it doesn't segment the player base. That is a huge reason why, and I wanted to make sure that it was still said in the video. It was something that I was thinking about, but just in the heat of going through the discussion, I kind of forgot about. So yeah, now back to the video. I think all of this, maybe not as much the multiplayer because multiplayer is free, but the whole model that they're doing with campaign really ties into Game Pass. And here's why. I'm pretty confident any of these expansions, any of these new campaigns, new games within the platform of Halo Infinite will be on Game Pass day one. They're building this sort of evergreen model for these games, making them ever evolving and making them either platforms or live service, so that when you go into Game Pass, you see Forza Motorsport, the new one. You go in, you'll see Halo Infinite. You'll go in, I don't know what they're doing with Gears. I don't know what they're doing with Fable. Fable could be one of those games that keeps going. And you see these, and you don't go in and you see Halo 6, Halo 7, Gears. I don't know what they're doing with Gears, but they could very well be shifting it. But I mean, seeing all these numbers, seeing all these different things, wondering, okay, which one should I play? They're making it super easy. And even MCC, it's other than Halo 5, Halo 5 sort of like the black sheep of this situation. But if you look at it, you're going to have MCC that you can go into. All the old Halo games are there. People don't have to go and track them down and try to find them. They just go in MCC. And then you have Halo Infinite, which is going to be like the future stuff. Having that all tie in Game Pass, go in there, boot it up. It's got all the stuff right there at the top. People don't have to go around and search for it and search for all these different ones. It's just going to make it so much more simple for existing users, but also to bring in new users. Because that's the thing with any kind of media. You want to lower the barrier to entry and lower the amount of effort someone has to put in to play your product. If you can just boot up Halo Infinite and you can play any of the campaigns and it's all right there, the multiplayer is continuous, keeps going, and you don't have to like find out, like with Call of Duty, you have to keep buying different ones. You have to keep buying the next one. That's why I think Warzone's so popular. You don't have to buy it, and it just keeps updating. So that's why I think they're doing this. Do I think that it's going to be good for the game itself? It has potential. We have to see how they execute it. But I know from a business standpoint, this is probably the smartest move they can do. I just think a lot of people are misinterpreting what they're saying, and they're sort of instantly going and comparing it to Destiny, Avengers, and like, these live service games didn't work out. Well, the campaign's not live service, okay? Let's get that straight. It's not live service. It's going to be their own contained things, each one of them. We'll have to see what they're going to do with this engine. I'm very confident one of the reasons why they're doing the engine this way and redoing it and trying to make it better for the developers and better in general is where they can continue to push out content and they don't have to do super overhauls and things like that when they want to make new campaigns. All of it can just be, all right, we made this campaign, let's go on to the next one, make some adjustments to the engine, and just make a new campaign. And it just goes straight in. So, and who knows? I don't know. I'm not a game developer, but I don't know that potentially what could end up happening is when they make changes to the engine and make it better, it could make the previous games within the game better. I don't know. I don't quite know how that works. That's just me kind of using my brain, thinking. But anyway, that's sort of my thoughts. This was a very loose video. I might have missed one or two points, but I do want to hear y'all's thoughts. Just know that I'm very excited for this game. We're right around the corner. We're about to see this game. We'll probably have a lot of questions answered and a lot more questions that we're gonna have to ask. So, it's been real. My name's Johan. I'll see y'all whenever I feel like making another video.